Hi, everybody. I think I can recognize most of the flow here, so you guys got to hear me again. But, uh, you know, this is a big moment for us. I founded this company in February 2015. February 2025, it turns 10 years. And for us to launch into North America, this is an amazing platform. But before I get into the product launch, a little bit about what is core to Niqo. So at the core of Niqo is our custom proprietary green-on-green camera. When I think you've been hearing about robotics throughout this conference, in my eyes, I like to break down what is a robot, essentially. A robot is eyes, brains, and a hand. And what we have done with the camera is, obviously, the camera can see, but what's unique about us is we also have the AI compute on the camera, so it's also doing the brains. And finally, the unit that you'll see today is the hands. In our case, it's spraying. So I think for us, the real core is the eyes and the brains. And how do you monetize this across different agriculture use cases? And that's what we are here for. Another thing that I think I'm particularly proud of is in general, most of the technology is born in the West, and we are consumers of the technology in the East. And one narrative that I'm trying to change with our launch in North America is cutting-edge technology can be born in the East and help Western growers here. So with that, what is our track record and what's our right to win? We have 250 cameras deployed in India. Even though it's a cutthroat market where farmers generally don't pay, we have been able to monetize with cash, where this camera currently is being deployed in a lease model where our sprayers are currently doing spot spraying in 4 different regions in India. And like I said, the real core of what we are trying to do is this camera can essentially see, process all the plant imagery, and then specifically spray on the plant and not on the soil. What's unique about this is we actually retrofit existing agriculture tractors and sprayers with our camera. So a little bit different from what you see here. If you are already a grower who has equipment and you want to upgrade it to make it smarter, that's what we did. We took existing agriculture equipment out in India, took our camera, put it on the sprayer boom, and then you had a dumb sprayer, and then with our camera, it becomes a smart sprayer. And I think another unique point for us is we have 50 of these sprayers currently deployed in India that is currently doing spot spraying. And we have sprayed 120,000 acres as of last week before I got on the flight. So I think that puts us actually in the upper echelon of commercializing green-on-green spot spraying technology. In addition to the acres, we are also particularly proud that we are being able to affect over 2,000 farmers' lives. This particular farmer grows cotton. He was able to spray, he's able to save 55% of his fungicide spraying just by using the camera. So I guess long story short, we have the confidence of coming to North America. I'm not using the word AI. I don't think AI is going to change the world. This is essentially a farm implement business. And with 120,000 acres, 50 sprayers, 250 cameras, this has been run on plus 50 degrees Celsius, minus 10 degrees Celsius. Our product works. And that's why we're here. And we're excited to, like I said, bring technology that's born in India out here in the US. So, yes, hello, North America. I'm proud to announce our Niqo RoboThinner. And the Niqo RoboThinner is a tractor-pulled spot sprayer that is 6 meters wide. And another interesting thing is we were here in FIRA last year in Salinas. And when we heard other startups pitch with similar technology, at the end of every pitch, farmers raised their hand and asked, can it thin? Can it thin? Can it thin? And then, so we kept hearing the same request. And we actually went to Yuma, Arizona. Yuma is an interesting place. It's 2 hours west of Phoenix, 2 hours east of San Diego, and 10 minutes from the Mexican border. And my team there, I think 2 weeks back, it hit 120 Fahrenheit. So it's a harsh condition, which makes it perfect for an ag robotics startup to be born from there. So if you survive Yuma, I think you can do well everywhere. So a little bit about the product. I think we like to pride ourselves on this unit being modular. So I think if you're a grower here, if you have different size of beds, it's a 40-inch bed, 42-inch bed. This is completely modular in nature. It goes wide and it goes narrow. Number two, it's relatively lightweight. So it's about 1,500 kilos, so about 3,500 pounds. And the real positive feature for being lightweight is even if you have a small tractor, 75 HP tractor, you can lift this. So you don't need to invest again on a heavier tractor. And like I said, it's a farm implement. I don't know how many investors are here, but when I'm pitching to investors, I say I'm a robotics startup, but actually it's just a farm implement business at the end of the day. And what do implements need to do? They need to work all the time. And when it breaks down, you need to service it. So what are some of the specs here? I was hoping there would be more growers in the audience, but nevertheless, the minimum lettuce plant that we can hit is about 1 inch. And we are able to do it at 3 miles per hour, which allows you to do this lettuce thinning operations for 7 acres in an hour. And one thing that we realized was existing lettuce thinning machines generally don't do well when there are weeds on the bed. And I think whoever's interested in our technology, please come to our field. This field has a lot of weeds, and we are able to pick out the lettuce and spray only on it. I think the other real important input that we got over the last 1 year from the North American grower market is I don't want to wait on parts, spare parts. So we have specifically designed our unit where if any of the sprayer systems, that is the nozzle, the hoses, the different pumps, if it goes down, you don't have to give us a call in India. You just have to go to your local ag store, Big W Sales, Green Rubber, and pick up your sprayer systems. What is proprietary to us, which is the camera and the display, will be housed with our local dealer, who I'll announce and introduce you to in a few slides. Again, if you're a grower here, 2 call to action. Apart from the public demos that we're doing for the entire audience, we're also doing private demos for just a one-on-one demo to show you how our robot works, and also to hear from you. So I think it's a two-way conversation to hear from growers. What's the pain point you're facing, and how can existing technology help you? And also, if you're growing lettuce, we are also for the next 1 year, we're doing free demos on your farm. So just give us a shout, and then we can take this forward. Another interesting thing, the weird thing that I see is not many people talk about the elephant in the room. How much does it cost? So I'm putting the number on the slide. We put the number on the brochure. We're trying to be as transparent as possible. This is $250,000 for the 6-bed implement. Me personally, I grow coffee in India. And when I buy farm equipment, the last thing that I want is an invoice yearly to tell me I need to re-up. So if I don't like paying recurring fees, why should I make growers here pay recurring fees? So there's no recurring fee, and there's a 1-year warranty. So with this, I'd like to also introduce our local partner here, Jason Mello. Jason, maybe you can stand up. If you're a local lettuce grower here, please reach out to Jason. And he's the one who will be arranging all the live demos here. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's a big milestone in our journey. 10 years seems like a lot, but I feel like we're just starting, and we're excited to be in the US. So thank you.
Got about 8 minutes of Q&A Feel free, don't be shy, ask some questions.
Are the cameras also for sale for ambitious startups like ours?
Yes, I think eventually, I think the scalable business for us is to sell the cameras individually. You're VC funded, I'm VC funded, a couple of my investors are here. So I'm under pressure to deliver a revenue target. And I think once we hit that number is when we start selling the cameras. So the answer is yes, but not right now. Yes.
Oh, thank you. I saw the demo yesterday, and
Yeah.
just a curiosity about the technology. You had a box on the tractor and an RTK station.
Yep.
So that's for the tractor GPS. That's an RTK base station just to keep the track of your equipment because the tractor here didn't have, or that's something for the implement?
Yeah, I think the answer is it's just to maintain accuracy of the sprayer. So again, I can give you a nice background on why we even did that. So the RTK system that you saw on the tractor and on the ground is completely built in-house. So we own that entire technology stack. And the reason why we did that is since our technology is born in India, India is an interesting ecosystem. 1 million tractors are sold in India every year. So it's the largest tractor market in the world, which again allows us to do economies of scale in building our implement as well. But the flip side of that is most of the tractors don't have any technology. So we had to build the RTK system from scratch to move, put a number out there, to move from like 8 millimeter level accuracy to 2 millimeter level accuracy. So we needed that extra data feed. And we've kind of brought that technology out. The natural question is, are we selling the RTK as a standalone? And the answer is no for now, and the same reason, which is kind of want to get our sales going here with the RoboThinner, and then I think it's a strategic call whether to sell the RTK by itself, camera by itself, what do these things cost?
What makes you different from all the other see and spray technologies that we've seen in the market so far?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. Like I said, number one, purely from a economies of scale perspective, since there are 1 million tractors sold in India, it's extremely efficient to get metal bent, welded, shipped, and packed. So we are definitely piggybacking off of the current ecosystem in India on the hardware manufacturing side. I think the other thing I think we can be super transparent is if you look at all the demos that you see in the zone, the tech stack is relatively the same. So we are using a Sony camera made in Japan. We're using an NVIDIA processor made in the US. And then we're training on a Microsoft Azure cloud, which is, again, the US. So amongst these three different tech stacks, there is no pricing preference that we get because we're in India. We're just paying retail that everybody gets paid. I think this business boils down to whoever has access to the most eclectic data set and how are you able to annotate and how are you able to deploy quickly. And again, I think there's a huge home code advantage. India has 120 million hectares of agricultural land, so it's almost on par with the US. And we probably have the most efficient data labeling resource. So between the ability to collect eclectic data, ag data, label, train, deploy, I think that gives us, frankly, the clearest edge of how this machine can get better almost on a daily basis. And I think Jason can attest to that. You should talk to him. We sent a couple of units out in Yuma last month. We ran into a few weeds that we've never seen before. We collected that data. We had an 8 p.m. call Yuma time, which is 8:30 in the morning in India. We said, here's the data. These guys labeled it for 24 hours, trained it for 24 hours. After the 48th hour, the new model was ready to be deployed in Yuma. So I think that really gives us an edge on how do you compoundingly get better here. And thanks for the investment, Vijay. All right.
Well, we have, on the clock, we have 3 minutes. However, we have another additional 10 minutes till our next presentation. So if you want the full 13 minutes and anybody has more questions, we can keep the floor open, keep the seats nice and warm for our next presentation.
Yeah, I think I'm done. So if I was wondering, are there any growers here? If you're a grower, can you raise your hand? Okay. Hello. So I think I don't know if you've seen our unit in live, but if you haven't, please come by. We'll do a special demo for you guys. Okay. Thank you.